Alright, here are quiz 5 solutions. Hopefully some of these will look familiar. I think I took some straight off of the worksheet for this week. But anyways, in this first one, what you want to do is solve for x. So move everything to one side other than the x's. So a good first step would be to distribute this 2 in. So 2 times 3x is 6x, and 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And now we have a linear equation here which we could solve. One way to do it would be to add x to both sides, because then you won't have x's on both sides of the equation, because negative x and positive x cancel out. You'll just have x's on one side of the equation. So you get to here, 6x plus x is 7x. And we want to get x all by itself, so a good next step would be to add 4 to both sides. And that'll cancel out this negative 4 and positive 4, and leave us with 7x equals 8. And then if you divide both sides by 7, you get x equals 8/7 as our final answer. Alright, second one, kind of the same idea. A little bit more work to do. I think in this one, before we distribute in, we should look to combine like terms. So maybe I'll take this over to here. Inside these parentheses, we got a 4 and a positive 2. So we really got positive 6. And then inside these parentheses, we also have a 4 and a positive 2. So we have positive 6. And now we can distribute the 2 and the negative 2 in. If we distribute this 2 in, we get 12 minus 2x. And if we distribute this negative 2 in, we get negative 12 plus 2x. This is plus 2x because negative 2 times negative x gives us positive 2x. So now to solve, we want to get the x's all by themselves, so maybe we could add 2x to both sides of the equation. What that will give us is 12 on one side and negative 12 plus 4x on the other side. Now we could add 12 to both sides of the equation, and that will leave us with just a positive 4x on this side and 24 on this side. And now if we divide both sides of the equation by 4, we'll get x is 24 divided by 4. But you can reduce that if you find the prime factorizations of both of these guys. What you'll find is that 24/4 is just 6. So our final answer, we get x equals 6. Alright, next one, the fraction problem. I know people aren't too fond of fractions, but we can figure this out. The basic idea is the same. Get all the x's together on one side of the equation. So we want to subtract 1/4 x from both sides of the equation. The hard part is figuring out what that leaves us. On the right side here, it's easy. These cancel out and we're just left with the negative 1. But on the left side, it's a little bit hard. Maybe I can figure this out over off to the side. I need to figure out what is 1/2 x minus 1/4 x. And these are like terms, so I can put them together, but the problem is if I'm going to subtract fractions, I need a common denominator. So my common denominator in this case is 4. So really I want to figure out, maybe I'll write this below, what is 2/4 x minus 1/4 x. And now that I have the same denominators, I can say 2 minus 1 is 1/4 x. So all that just to say that what goes here is 1/4 x, 1/4 x. So this guy went over to there. But if you get to there, you're in pretty good shape. Now what we got to do is figure out what we can multiply both sides of the equation by. And if you multiply both sides of the equation by 4, you'll get x equals negative 4, which is our final answer. And then moving on to the last one here. Kind of the same idea, we just sort of got a big mess. So I think a good way to start would be, see, there's no like terms that we can combine in this case. So we can kind of distribute into the parentheses. We got negative 10, and then 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times negative x is negative 4x. And then over here we got 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. And now if we start combining some like terms, negative 10 plus 8 is 2, is negative 2. Negative 10 plus positive 8 is negative 2. And then 8 minus 10 is also negative 2. So what you see is we have the same thing on both sides of the equation. If you wanted, you could go one step further, although really you don't have to. You end up with something like this. This is always true, which means that any value of x you put into this equation, you'll get the same thing on both sides. So I think up in the instructions it said that if all real numbers are solutions, write all real numbers. So our answer here would be all real numbers. And I guess that's it. That's the end of this quiz.